What's good, everyone? Since the 2026 NFL draft is already over, we're underway for the next college football season for the 2027 NFL draft. And in this video, we're going to do a way too early 2027 NFL mock draft. We're going to do all teams in order in this class, and we're going to go based off talent and pretty much situations going into this class. And I'll give my 2 cents on what I think about the player and how I think they'll, make the first round this coming season. Now, this will be a fun way to look back at and, see how many I get wrong and, how many maybe I get right. But who knows? I could be completely way off and it'll just be funny to look at, So we're going to go ahead and start this off with the first pick, which they have projected to be the Arizona Cardinals, which is pretty rude in my opinion, but here we go. Obviously, we're going to get this underway. Now, it's going to be the QB position because I know they drafted Carson Beck, but that's not going to stop them from drafting another QB if they manage to have a poor season like this. And one of the top QBs that we're going into is obviously Arch Manning, who's the dual threat. Dante Moore, who could have, declared last draft, but he decided to stay for Oregon. Drew Mestamaker is a name to watch. He transferred from North Texas to follow his coach Eric Morris to Oklahoma State. We'll get onto that later. Darian Mensa, who transferred from Duke, going to Miami. Brandon Sorsby, this guy transferred as well. I don't know if you heard the stories lately, but he is a gambling addict, so big chance that he will miss the first round because he's got some other issues going on, but we'll see. Trinidad Chambliss, he could have declared last draft, but I don't know why he didn't, but it's really up to him. I guess he wanted to win a national championship with Ole Miss, but he would have definitely been selected in the second round at least. And who knows if he made a mistake and he might regret it this coming draft, because there's a lot of good QBs coming on, but who knows. Last class there was supposed to be a lot of good QBs projected in the first round as well, and they immediately flopped right after, so hopefully this isn't the same case. And obviously Julian Sayin from Ohio State, he showed some flashes in his first career start at Ohio State, so we ought to see if he keeps going up. Lenore Sellers, he had his chances, man, but it's not looking good for him. But he does have elite size and traits. I don't know. We ought to see what that happens with him. And there's also prospects like CJ Carr. There's a lot of QB prospects, but I'll go ahead and give my 2 cents of which ones I think will be in the first round. And this one, in my mock draft, we're gonna go ahead and bank on Arch Manning being good in his next college season for Texas. He's got the traits. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's 6'4", 219, and he's got the name on his back. Now, I'm not selecting him because he's got the name on his back, but last season he did start off pretty slow. People gave up on him already, but I think he was really doing good at the end of his college season last season, and if he continues on that upwards trajectory, he'll manage to be in the first round, maybe even the first QB off the board in no time. So he's got athleticism. It just takes all the mechanics that he needs next, right? But next we're gonna talk about the second pick, the Miami Dolphins. Who knows if they go quarterback in this coming class, but if they were this bad, maybe. But they already gave 3 years to Malik Willis. It wasn't a huge contract, but they didn't give Malik Willis a lot to work with anyway. In terms of if they do go QB, it would probably be around like Dante Moore. We'll do in the sake of, okay, Malik Willis, he was pretty decent, and let's just give him a weapon and see what happens, right? So we're going to go ahead and give him the one and only, can't pass up prospect, Jeremiah Smith. This guy was amazing in back-to-back freshman and sophomore seasons, over 1,000 yards. This guy is incredible. He'll most likely be a top 3, top 4 pick in this coming class, depending, how many teams need QBs, right? So I think Jeremiah Smith is that good, and man, I can't wait for his junior year. Like it could only get better, right? Now the Jets, I'm gonna do some narrative pushing right here. Obviously, they'll definitely select a QB in this coming draft, but I won't have them select a QB in this pick right here because Dante Moore, he could have been a Jet already. I could easily mock Dante Moore to the Jets, but for this mock draft, I am not, because maybe Dante Moore has a thing against the Jets and maybe he doesn't want to play for that franchise. I don't blame him, but the Jets, I feel like if they don't like Dante Moore easily, they could just select another QB. But then again, the Jets have 3 other first round picks. So I'll just go ahead and save that QB debacle for their later picks. And I'm just going to go ahead and give them a premium position. We'll give them defensive end. And one of my favorite defensive ends going into this class is Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons out of Texas, man. This guy, he's got good explosiveness. He really does. I really do like his size though. He's 6'3", 240. He's pretty light, but hey, his explosiveness, it speaks for itself, man. He had 59 pressures that led the SEC last season, and I know he's not that big, but he is a freakish athlete though. He really is. So be on the lookout for this guy because he was wrecking games as a freshman, and I noticed it. Now next will be the Cleveland Browns. Knowing their QB situation already, I already know it's not gonna be good. It's like they drafted Taylor Green. He's freakishly athletic, but I don't think he's gonna be their long-term answer. So I want to go ahead and give him Dante Moore out of Oregon. That, I mean, is it better than the Jets scenario? Who knows? It's the Jets or Browns. You flip a coin on it. But he's 6'3", 206. Was pretty good. Last season, he was a top 2 projected pick if he would have declared for sure. But he's going back to school, probably banking on himself. This could go ahead and bite me, and he just plummets his draft stock and just plays out of the first round. But you know, we're gonna go on a limb here that he does play good compared to last season, and he will be a top pick again. And then now with the 5th pick, not the Fernando Mendozas, but you know, the Raiders, they selected Fernando Mendoza already, so they don't have to worry about the QB position anymore. And with this position, I want to give them one of the most elite prospects that I love watching, and it's going to be Leonard Moore, man. This guy is the top graded corner in the country, man. This guy gave problems to guys like Mekhi Lemon. He even gave some problems with Jeremiah Smith at times, you know. He has a passer rating of 45.1 when targeted, and man, he came down with 5 interceptions as well. This guy is a lockdown corner, man. And I feel like a guy like Devin Witherspoon, who got selected at pick number 5 to the Seahawks when he came out of Illinois, I feel like a guy like Leonard Moore will get drafted top 5 as well because he's that good. That's how good he is, man. I really like him. So be on the lookout for that. Number 6 will be the Atlanta Falcons. If they were this bad, then we'll have some problems, right? We're gonna go ahead and select Dylan Stewart. Now, Dylan Stewart out of South Carolina. He could have transferred, but he managed to stay in South Carolina. I'll give him respect for that. Kind of had a little setback, but you know, this coming season he should have a big year, and he should be projected, you know, a top 10 pick regardless, man, because he's got good size. He's 6'5", 245, and I think he's managed to, you know, get some pressures on the QB, so that's his go-to in this one. Now the Titans, they just drafted their franchise receiver, man. Congrats to them. They already have their franchise quarterback. So how about we go ahead and give them some help? And I want to go ahead and give him a top tackle in this class. Now, will he be the best tackle, the first tackle drafted in this 2027 class? Who knows? Because there's a lot of good tackles coming into the class. But we're going to go ahead and bank on one of the known ones. And it's going to be Trevor Gooseby out of Texas. This guy, he's got good size, 6'7", 312. He was highly graded. And he's pretty good, man. I feel like the one thing he needs to clean up is the penalties though. But you know, he's got some good size and good agility. I feel like GMs would fall in love with him. So we're gonna go ahead and take him off the board because I'm not a big fan of Dan Moore. And like JC Latham, he's been all right, but I feel like one of the two you could replace, preferably Dan Moore. Dan Moore is not good, even though they paid him a lot of money. He's easily replaceable. Now, next will be the Carolina Panthers. They're selecting at 8. I don't know how they're selecting at 8 here, but if they were selecting at 8, then it would be unfortunate. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bank on a running back in this position. I'm going to say another running back will get drafted top 10 in this class. Now, there's a lot of good running backs entering their junior year this coming college season. You got the Ahmad Hardys, you got the Kewan Lacey's, also LJ Martin, who went back to school, but he's going to be a senior. Now, I'm going to bank on this one guy. This one guy is going to be Jaden Ball. Jaden Ball, why I like him so much, he's 6'1", 231. He's got the size to be good in pass pro, and he's able to haul in some receptions. Why I have him over guys like Ahmad Hardy? Like Ahmad Hardy, he's a great rusher. Have some questions. If he's able to, get those receptions in, then I view him very higher than him. But also Kewan Lacey, Jaden Ball just has better size than him. It is what it is. And I was really impressed with his sophomore year at Florida and what they were dealing with that offense, because DJ Lagway didn't really look good, but he made most of it. So Jaden Ball, I'm gonna go ahead and bank on this guy being the first running back in the class that's drafted first. All right, now number 9, the Saints coming off drafting Mr. Jordan Tyson. Should be good. I think I want to give him an edge rusher. Hopefully there's going to be a lot of good edge rushers coming in this class, and this one I feel like he's got the opportunity to be good. Is coming out of Arkansas. All right, Quincy Rhodes Jr. I love his size. He's 6'6", 276. He's shown some amazing plays last season. He racked up 8 sacks. Some good impact, man. He could get to the QB, man. He's very physical, and I really like him. I think he will manage to take a turn over there, and he'll be selected this highly, or most definitely in the first round, hopefully. So Quincy Rhodes will be the selection at 9 for the Saints. Number 10 will be the Giants. Now this pick is mainly because they traded Dexter Lawrence, so I want to give them a defensive tackle in this area. And one of the defensive tackles I was looking at is David Stone. David Stone from Oklahoma. This guy has a good name, man. Good name, and he's got some good size. He's 6'3", 310. I think he's being able to, make some good tackles and block the run, man. I really do like him. He does have the potential to be, a top 10 pick. He's good in one technique, 3 tech, interior rusher, man. Now next, let me go ahead and stop talking. We're gonna go ahead 11 to the Commanders. Commanders, they selected Sonny Styles, who I really loved a lot. And I was thinking, I'm like, should I give him an offensive tackle? Should I give him an edge rusher? How about let's give Jaden Daniels some freaking help? Now, one of the receivers that I do like is obviously Cam Coleman. Now, there's a lot of good receivers you could, choose from. The Cam Colemans, Amarion Miller is going to be a senior. Nick Marsh, Ryan Wingo, I really like, but I feel like Cam Coleman just transferred from Auburn. He might get majority of targets, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Wingo was as good and potentially maybe a first rounder, but that's a big what if. And also Ryan Williams. I know Ryan Williams, he had a down year last season. Hopefully, we'll see what he could do, because he dropped a lot of balls last season. And he has one more year to prove himself and reach first round status. So we're going to go ahead and select Cam Coleman here, though, at 11, and give him that number 1, while Terry McLaurin is aging, and it will definitely help him in the long run. Now, the Jets, here we go. They choose their QB here. Now, maybe they'll trade up, or they'll just choose their QB at the top pick and just choose one over the other. We're going to go ahead and select one of the QBs that I'm going to bank on making the first round and make some noise. Now, this guy, it's going to be Darian Mensah. I really like him at Duke. This guy's pretty accurate coming out of Duke, and he's going to be playing under Mario Cristobal. He's throwing to Malachi Toney. Good system, good building over there. and a good school. They're very competitive. He's got good size as well. He's 6'3", 205. I think he's built for it. So we'll see if this bites me and he goes ahead and just becomes garbage and gets replaced, or he managed to be a first round QB. So we're gonna go ahead and select Darian Mensah to the Jets. Now the Vikings, I had a lot of thinking with this one. This is another team that could potentially go QB as well, and that's probably the direction I'm going. After busting with JJ McCarthy and only signing Kyler Murray to a 1-year deal, which is a prove-it deal. Who knows if they give him a massive extension? I feel like they're gonna go quarterback here. I don't know. I'm really high on this dude as well. Ignore the stuttering and everything, but yeah, Drew Mestamaker will be my guy. He's 6'4", 211. This guy is followed Coach Eric Morris all the way to Oklahoma State, and I mean, guys like Eric Morris, who he mentored during their college seasons, was like Pat Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Cam Ward. Could he do the same with Drew Mestamaker, man? He was very productive at North Texas. We'll see if he flops at Oklahoma State, or he actually produces over there under his coach. And he has a good arm, man. I like his talent. I like his physicals. I think he will manage to be a first rounder if everything goes swell. Or there's a potential that he could just go back to school again. He could just play 2 years at Oklahoma State again. A lot of possibilities. I'll take the possibility that, a good amount of QBs go in the first round. Drew Mestamaker will be one of them, going to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, 14 will be the Steelers. Now, they already have those Aaron Rodgers debacles. Pretty tired of it. They did draft Drew Aller, but how much trust do we have in Drew Aller? I mean, we've seen him in college. Not very accurate. He has a big arm. He has great size. I mean, I'm telling you, these NFL GMs love size and over the talent sometimes. But if the Steelers just go ahead and steer the opposite direction and then give him another QB in this draft, this is a big what if. I'm not high on this guy compared to the other QBs. It will be Julian Sayin, all right? Now, the size, he's 6'1", 208. He's pretty much a light QB, but last season he was a Heisman finalist. But then again, Diego Pavia was a Heisman finalist as well. But if he's good enough with Jeremiah Smith there to boost his stock, and Ohio State has another good offensive season, what says that a team won't reach for QB like Julian Sayin, man? He was one of the most accurate QBs going into the class already. Like, this guy, he's accurate, man. So we'll go ahead and ignore the size and just say he has a better year than he did his first year starting, because that was his first year starting. This will be his second year starting, and I think he learned a lot and will be better. And this will be the Steelers' next QB for the future if Drew Aller doesn't flop, of course, or the past Ohio State QB, Will Howard, who won a championship with them as well. So a lot of big what ifs in this class. So far I have 5 QBs in this class so far. I think that's the most I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna lie, that's the most I'm gonna go, if you were wondering. Now 16, with their third first round pick, the Jets. I want to give him this player, because this player will be replacing another player, and that player I'm talking about is Breece Hall. Breece Hall, he's been wanting to go for the longest, and I don't think the Jets want to give him a contract. They franchise tagged him. He's going to be playing 1 year under the Jets, and who knows if they extended him already. But I'm going off that they're going to go ahead and just move off from him and draft another running back. I'm very high on this running back class. I'm going to go Ahmad Hardy. Ahmad Hardy's a very aggressive rusher, very violent. He could break tackles. He's really good. He's really good. If he racked up close to 1,600 yards last season as a sophomore, can't wait to see what he does. I just wish he had that receiving upside. But, I think his rushing is just, you can't really pass up on. I'm going to go ahead and select Ahmad Hardy to the Jets at 15. So they leave the draft with Darian Mensah, Ahmad Hardy, and Colin Simmons. That's amazing. Good haul, right? Now, the Bears, I wanted them to go edge rusher in this coming class, but, we got a dropper in Dylan Thieneman. I love me some Dylan Thieneman, so it worked out. So we got the safety. But I do want to address edge regardless in this position. And one of the edge rushers that I do like coming into this class comes out of Michigan. It's John Henry Daly. This guy is one of the best edge rushers coming back to school. He's 6'4", 247. I mean, this guy, he's got some good traits, man, already, man. He was the highest graded edge rusher, and he had an 18% pressure rate at Utah last season. So him at Michigan, it should do wonders, man. It should really do wonders. So we're gonna go ahead and select John Henry Daly to my Chicago Bears, and hopefully that just solves every pass rushing issue that we're probably gonna, go through this upcoming season, right? All right, next team we're gonna talk about is the Bengals. These guys situated with their defensive line already, trading for Dexter Lawrence, drafted Cassius Howell. They have Shamar Stewart. I want to go ahead and work up with some DBs, get some more DBs in that area. Now, one of the DBs that I do like, it will be Bryce Pollock. Bryce Pollock is coming out of Texas Tech. He's 195, listed at 6 foot. And this guy, he's very, very instinctive, man. This guy, he had a 35 passer rating allowed, which is one of the best from returning cornerbacks, and he will be listed as a junior this coming year. He racked up 5 interceptions, allowed 0 touchdowns. He's really good on that Texas Tech defense. That Texas Tech defense last season was really good, and he was one of the reasons why. Now next we're gonna go ahead and select for the Jaguars at 18. Their draft, it was a little confusing in my opinion, but it is what it is. We'll see if Gladstone is a genius, but we're gonna go ahead and give him a defensive tackle in those trenches. Now that defensive tackle I want to go ahead and give him comes out of Miami, right? And it will be Ahmad Moten out of Miami. Big dude, 6'3", 325. He played alongside Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor. He had the highest snap count in the past year from the national championship game. That guy, he has stamina, so he's got multiple pressures, and that's what he does. He gets to the QB, man. And as a defensive tackle, that's pretty impressive. So you add this guy on the Jaguars defensive line, it will be a problem. The Buccaneers, man. The Buccaneers, I really like their draft. They drafted Mr. Ruben Bain, and I think it would be nice to add on to the secondary as well. You can't get too much of the secondary, right? I was thinking going tight end in this area, but I want to go ahead and give him a top corner. This guy, apparently opposing quarterbacks completed just 28% of passes thrown in this player's direction last season. This guy, he's got great size. Wouldn't be surprised if he got selected higher. Kelly Jones out of Mississippi State, 6'4", 195, and he's a lockdown corner. You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna go ahead and bank on this guy being a first round talent, and the Buccaneers, they just end up with this guy. Now we got 20, the Broncos. They did add wide receiver Jalen Waddle. I was thinking wide receiver maybe in this area. Their offensive line is already amazing. They just drafted a running back. I want to go ahead and give them a safety position, man. And one of those safeties that I really do like is KJ Bolden out of Georgia. All right. Now KJ Bolden, he's 6 foot 185, and he's one of the best tacklers at the safety position. All right. He only missed 4 of his 82 tackles last season. He has a good tackle rate, and he has good IQ, good in nickel. I think this guy is going to be a problem, and he will definitely be a first round consideration. I know I'm being very confident that these guys are going to be first round players, but man, I think some of these guys will. I feel like the less confident guys would probably be the QBs, but we'll carry on, right? We're going to do the Texans, man. The Texans, they had a decent class too. They added Caden McDonald onto that defense. I feel like we could add an offensive lineman. Who knows if that right tackle position is going to be maintainable with Braden Smith or Trent Brown. Also, Ariante Ursary. I mean, he's been all right, but could he be replaceable? I think so. I want to go ahead and select an offensive tackle, and one of the offensive tackles I like is Trevor Locke This guy is 6'5" out of Iowa. He's 310 pounds. Man, I mean, just looking at his face, man, he looks like he means business. And usually Iowa, they have some amazing linemen. I mean, last season they were the best offensive line in the country. All right, he didn't allow a single sack last season, and he's really good as a pass protector. He really is. Run blocking, he's amazing as well. All right, next we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the Eagles, they traded up for Mekhi Lemon and jumped the Steelers. I was thinking a defensive tackle, but you know, they just extended Jordan Davis. I wonder if they extend Jalen Carter as well, because he's on his final year of his rookie deal. We'll go ahead and give him offensive tackle because they didn't really draft one. I know they drafted the big Markel Brown guy from, you know, Miami. I do want to give him another offensive tackle. And this guy I like, his name is Caden Green. Now Caden Green, he transitioned from guard to tackle. I feel like this could make sense for them in the future. Yeah, so Caden Green, he's 6'5", 324. I know Lane Johnson won't be there much longer, but he's really good at pass blocking and run blocking. He could be the future for the Eagles offensive line, man. So I think this guy you could go ahead and take a chance on, and it will manage to work out, right? 23 to the Lions. This is a team that does need offensive line as well, but I want to give him a defensive tackle instead. And this guy will be AJ Holmes. All right, AJ Holmes out of Texas Tech, another Texas Tech defender. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. He's really good, man. He's really good. He could get after the QB as well, and I feel like he would just produce on the Lions defensive line alongside Aiden Hutchinson and Derek Moore, who they just recently drafted. And yeah, his run defensive grade is amazing, man. It was third amongst all interior defenders, and man, he could convert some pressure. So AJ Holmes to the Lions would be some problems, in my opinion. Now we're gonna go to the Chargers at 24, and I think we could just keep adding on into the interior defensive line for these guys. I was thinking, yeah, I want to go ahead and give him Amari Washington out of Oregon. Amari Washington, he is projected to be a first-round talent. We ought to see if it managed to work out. He's 6'3", 330. We could see he's a freak athlete. He's got a ceiling. He could bat passes. Yeah, I think Amari Washington, it could be a guy to watch later in the first round, if not day 2. So be on the lookout for him. We'll go ahead and select the Chargers for them. But I just want to add like the best offensive linemen in the first round, because you know you can never get too many offensive linemen, and I feel like he might be a first rounder. He just might. And this guy I'm talking about is Carter Smith. Carter Smith out of Indiana. This isn't him, but this is the Carter Smith that's a tackle. He's played 5 years pretty much for and yeah, he only allowed single-digit pressures across the 16 games last season for the Indiana Hoosiers in their championship run. He is highly respected, especially playing under a guy like Critzinetti. I wouldn't see why not. You go ahead and plug him anywhere on the line. And the Patriots, yeah, I feel like it's the perfect spot. Why not? I would give him to the Niners. It would make sense. But I'm gonna go ahead and give him another tackle. I want to give him the tackle Austin Sierravelt from Ohio State. He doesn't commit penalties at all, man. Only 2 penalties in 800 offensive snaps. Now the one problem will probably be his pass blocking, but his run blocking is elite. And knowing the Niners, they love to run the ball. I mean, they really do. And who knows if CMC is still there by next season, but I feel like a guy like Austin, you could just plug in to anywhere. Even if you want to plug him in at guard, it would make sense. So Austin going to the Niners would make sense in this position. Now the Cowboys, yeah, they have them, projected very highly here, right? And I want to go ahead and give them a corner. Now, one of these corners I do like, and it is a Clemson corner, all right? They just had one in Avion Terrell selected not too long ago. And this one will be Ashton Hampton. I feel like add some DBs into that room would help him very much. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. And yeah, man, he's a good tackler. And he's really good, man. I think He could be really good and impactful. And I would love to see if he managed to make the first round. If not, potentially day 2, right? So next will be the Kansas City Chiefs. And since Kelsey isn't getting any younger, they didn't draft a tight end. You know, I seen an undrafted free agent that they signed was John Michael Gillenborg, who I like. He's an undrafted free agent, but we'll see if he stays on the final 53. So yeah, but if not, I think this will be the first tight end in the first round. Will be Jamari Johnson. Now this guy, he was highly graded over a guy like Kenyon Sadiq as well, and he produced as much as him, man. And he's going into his true junior year, just racking up over 500 yards already in his sophomore year. So I think if he managed to play good alongside a Dante Moore, he could get his stock up into the first round to a team that's very tight end needy coming this time around. And Jamari Johnson to the Chiefs would make sense. So we'll go ahead with that selection. 29. I feel like the one position they could replace and fill in would be linebacker. And the one linebacker that I know is the Notre Dame one, Kingston Viliami. This guy's 6'3", 230. He's got good stats, pretty much, you know, a lot of tackles. Could also rush the passer as well if he needed. I think this guy would manage to be playing good enough to get in the first round. So I think this is the guy, man. He was highly recruited on PFF for sure, and he's got a good run grade. And he could, in coverage though, he was pretty decent. He only allowed a passer rating of 55. So I think all around, I think this will be a good selection if the Ravens manage to get this guy. Now the Seahawks, man, coming off a championship and going into next year, what could they have needed? The Seahawks, I want to give them an edge rusher, considering they lost Boy Mafe. This one I'll take a gamble on. This is one of the brothers. It's we're gonna select the edge rusher out of Oregon, Mateo Uiagalelei. This guy was pretty much projected high last season, had a really good season, and we'll see what he does in his true junior year. We'll see if he managed to double his sacks. He is pretty good at pressures and, you know, getting to the QB. So we'll see if he's on that upward trajectory and manage to land on a team like the Seahawks in the first round. Now these last 2 picks, I'm gonna be honest, these are like my guys. Who knows if they're gonna be first round talents, but if they are, then that would be cool. If not, then damn, that sucks, man. I took a gamble, but we're gonna go with the Bills. We're gonna select a receiver. Now this is if now this is with confidence that Ryan Williams bounces back and cracks over 1,000 yards and has a productive season at Alabama. We're gonna go Ryan Williams to the Bills. All right, Ryan Coleman Williams. Now he changed his name if you didn't know, but yeah, Ryan Coleman Williams suffered a lot of drops in this past season. He pretty much played worse than Jeremy Bernard, but this is his prove it year, man. His true junior year. Prove it. Play really well. Enter the class as an early declare and get yourself drafted in the first round. You're so young already, right? He's probably gonna be in the NFL draft at the age of 20. Like, that's kind of insane. So I'm a bank on that he actually does bounce back. And yeah, he's the 31st pick to the Bills. Now next will be 32 to the Rams, who they project will be the champion next season. And I feel like this guy is one of my guys as well. And who knows, if he has an amazing season going into next year, it'll be Keywan Lacey, man. We could have 3 running backs in the first round potentially, because that's how much I like this running back class going into next season. Keywan Lacey to the Rams, it would be deadly. It really would. They already run a lot of tight end sets as it is. Imagine Keywan Lacey just running behind that. He would be amazing. So this will go ahead and conclude my final draft for the 2027 NFL draft, you know, going into next season. So we ought to go ahead. I want to go ahead and take off the grades because it looks crazy. But we ought to look next season how many we get right and we could react to this video and see how many players we landed right in the first round, or what exact team I landed on the prospect that they drafted. And it would be funny, and it would be fun to look back and see what happens in real time, you know? So I just want to go ahead and thank you for watching all the way at the end of the video. Like and subscribe for some more content like this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.